about this. You're talking about the relationship between honor and loyalty. When honor fails between a relationship, loyalty is the one that brings it back around. As you think about David, when he fails to honor his father, Yahweh, in his decision, and you can pick any one of the situations that he makes major messes in. He dishonors the name of Yahweh, even to the point where Yahweh sends Nathan over to really rip in a new one, right? Loyalty is what restores David back, because his heart was to his father and he knew he screwed up, and his loyalty to who Yahweh was in his life and their relationship is what restored him back into a place of honoring him again. So that, I think, is another dynamic relationship between the two, is when honor fails, loyalty restores. So they play a part together. We deal in a world that's broken. And when we honor each other, we maintain a relationship. But when one of the parties dishonors, it falls out of honor, the loyalty of the relationship, I'm gonna stick with you even when I screwed up. Covenant, that's what covenant is, right? Then loyalty to the covenant allows that to be reestablished and honor to be reestablished between the two. And it's interesting because think about that, loyalty on both parts. Because when the other fails me, my honor, my loyalty to them allows me to move in my honor to bless them and to bring them back in and say, you failed, you dishonored the relationship, but my loyalty to you is going to allow you to come back, reestablish the honoring of the relationship. And Yahweh does it all the time. That's what loving kindness is. He calls us through his loving kindness to repentance. It's an honoring of the relationship in his side of the covenant. And in his honoring of his side of the covenant, calls us back into that place of honor again, of honoring the relationship. And if our hearts are loyal, we'll return to it. But if our hearts are not loyal to the relationship, then it doesn't matter how much honoring he does to us, we'll fight to go back into that relationship because we weren't loyal to it. So they walk hand in hand. When honor fails, loyalty brings restoration. The loyalty aspect, it's kind of the glue to the relationship. The honor is like what is the functioning of how the relationship is expressed, right? In whatever environment, but the loyalty is what keeps it together. So I think about circumstances where the dishonoring happens and there is no foundational or no loyalty in relationship to keep them together. And so often in the dishonoring, what happens is it continues to spiral out of control and greater dishonor occurs to the point of breaking, right? You dishonor me. Yeah, well, you can just take a hike, right? And so the division becomes greater because there was no loyalty to the relationship. So the dishonor was actually just a facade, to be honest. But it became the crucible to expose the facade and reveal that the honor was very superficial. And the expression of honor isn't always done toward the individual in the relationship, right? It's done towards others because it honors the relationship or how we are expected to operate in this relationship, and therefore it affects others. Again, our relationship with our Father, it dishonors our Father when we dishonor other people, right? Because the context, the culture of honor within the relationship requires that we respond a certain way, not just to him, but to everyone around us. Like Yeshua says, you've done it to these, you've done it to me. Right? Because he's established the criteria, the honor criteria for your relationship with them. And it requires being honorable to those who are not in direct relationship between you, right? And that is interesting, how the way he has set up our relational dynamics requires that our honor for others impacts our honor for him. And that when we dishonor others, we dishonor him. And so he's from the beginning set that requirement up, which is unique, to be honest, because below the sun, I can dishonor people all day long and not dishonor certain relationships, right? This is kind of almost tribal in a sense, like, well, we can, like, just like a football team, right? You don't dishonor the colors of your team, but you could dishonor the other team all day long. So dishonor others outside the tribe is fine, as long as you don't dishonor the tribe. And that's a below the sun mindset. But then in walks Yeshua and says, you don't dishonor the other tribe, because if you do so, you're going to dishonor me. And this is a complete flip upside down of thinking, contrary, because everybody was nationalized, culturalized, tribe, everybody, your tribe, my tribe, and we don't play together nicely. Yeshua is saying, no, if you hate your enemy, it ain't any different. You want to live by the sun, you got to love your enemy. And so dishonoring your enemy was dishonoring him. That's a big cultural shift. And when we talk about a culture of honor within the tribe, that's what we're talking about, is not just you and me and just us, but that honor extends to those who aren't part of us, right? It extends to every man and woman and child in humanity, even extends to creation. Those who have a right alignment and relationship and loyalty to the Father respond and don't dishonor all of creation. We don't dishonor the angels. We don't dishonor the trees around us. We don't dishonor the water, the air, and we become good stewards. That's how it manifests. But that's the honor aspect, because if we dishonor those things, creation, we dishonor our Father. And it becomes a culture of honor that extends beyond just the four walls of the church and the wineskin. It goes beyond and extends to all of the cosmos. That is contrary to the below the sun thinking. And this is the mind-blowing aspect, what Yeshua invited us into when he started demonstrating the Father's kingdom.